Hey guys, this is Chris here from 180 Therapies in Charlotte, North Carolina. I want to take a minute here to say that I'm with one of my really good friends, Sean Wells. He flew in from Dallas, Texas, and is here to kind of hang out with me. And so I'm excited to have him here because he's a wealth of knowledge on all things ketogenic. He is known as the world's greatest formulator. So if you can't tell, I'm excited about it. I want to know what got you into biohacking.
Okay. Well, one, I grew up depressed, overweight, junk food junkie, video games and cartoons and all that kind of stuff. And I was really bullied. And I think the depression and obesity probably led to me eventually getting some autoimmune issues. In college, I ended up getting Epstein-Barr virus, mono, but that triggered a number of things: Hashimoto's, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. I ended up also getting a pituitary adenoma, which is a brain tumor later on, and that really led me to the ketogenic diet, biohacking, supplementation, all these kinds of things, like to just try and figure myself out.
That's awesome. I like the route that you've taken over the course of your career, as far as with all of these adversities against you, and you and I have talked about your story many times, but I want to share it with these guys here. But what I like is how you persevered through college, your story with the doctor that you've told me many times that kind of changed your whole perspective on what you should be doing. And that being said, I also would like you to kind of share that a little bit, if you don't mind. The story with the doctor, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I went to a doctor while I was going to business school, and I was starting to get really passionate about nutrition and working out, and I was getting slimmer, and things were looking better for me. I was actually getting the attention of some ladies, but I was taking some supplements and just really excited about it. And I had a physical between my sophomore and junior year of business school, and I decided to tell this doctor about it, and I assumed that he was going to just laugh at me and tell me nutrition supplements are stupid. This is about 20 years ago. I don't know that it's so much better now than it is then, but it was worse then at the very least. But he ended up seeing my passion and drawing out this lifeline on a piece of paper between 20 and 80 years old and said, why not be happy between here and here? And it just blew me away. Like, that was the voice that I never had in my life that just said, go chase your dreams, basically. Literally gave me permission. And, some hippie guy that, was going nowhere said, bro, go chase your dreams. I probably wouldn't have done it. But the fact that this was a medical doctor, which to me was like exciting, like, this guy's the smartest, that he's making lots of money, so when he told me that, it was like, I can just do what I love. That was like an epiphany for me. I don't just have to do the thing that's the most practical, that makes money. And the funny thing is, if you really chase what you love, you end up becoming very successful. No one can keep up with you. I become the world's greatest at what I do just because no one can keep up with my passion. And I dig in, it's not work for me. I do this, I read, I talk to people just because I love it. When people ask me about supplements, I can't stop talking about it. I want to help them. I want to talk about it. It's not a grind for me. It's something I enjoy.
So, that being said, with the world's greatest formulator, all the things that you've accomplished, even though you've had a rough time to get there, you put tons of time into college, you doubled up on all of your stuff. Like I said, you and I have talked about these things in private, and to me that's amazing that you're able to push through all of it, even though you had all of these obstacles, like that book that we've talked about, The Obstacle is the Way, and you always hit them head on and keep going. So one of the other things about Sean that's neat is I actually happened to run into him about 5 or 6 years ago now. Time flies when you're having a good time. And he invited me to come down and hang out with him and his wife Shelly in Texas. But I met him at a local chain here. And what was really interesting about it is he came in and he had complained a little bit about his neck, and I didn't realize at the time how many issues he actually had with his neck and his back and things like that. And so Funny enough, after I finished the session in this franchise setting, he said to me, "Hey, do you have a little bit more time to work?" And I said, "Well, if you don't mind coming to the house, you can come over and hang out and we'll do a session." And we had a really cool session that night. He took me up on the offer, and so that's where what this awesome friendship led to, and I appreciate that each and every day. So that being said, with where this led and how we met, some of your neck issues, soft tissue, your journey with working on the orthokinetic system, or all of these different systems and things that you've tried over the course of the years with your chronic neck issues. Can you kind of elaborate on how soft tissue modalities have helped you out?
100%. It's, having a regular, I work with a physical therapist. I've had some issues with not only 2 discs replaced to my neck, but hip surgery and a knee surgery. Like I've had my issues. I think my body is working against me. The whole autoimmune thing, and I'm doing everything I can to figure that out. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. But I work with a physical therapist. I work with trainers that are orthokinetics trainers, and I have a really high skill chiropractor, and then massage therapy has been incredible for me in terms of, especially if you have someone talented like yourself that can do the detail work, work through fine areas of the muscle, that knows the nervous system. It's so much different than, when people say, I'm going to get a massage, and people think, oh, that's nice. And they picture candlelight and oils and just relaxing. But for me, it's a way for me to push 70 to 80 hours a week and travel the world and do all the things I do. Like I wouldn't be able to maintain without this type of soft tissue work that is very detailed, with someone that has a really strong sense of anatomy, of trigger points, of the nervous system, of what leads into what, and the order in which to do things. It's a massive difference for someone that hasn't had a high-end skilled massage. They don't know what they're missing.
I appreciate that. That's a huge compliment to me. And definitely to all the practitioners out there that work with Sean. And I can say this because he's opened his house to me many times while I was attaining this orthokinetic licensure, which he also inspired me to go and attain. But while I was staying with him, he's always on the phone. He's always working. He was at the office all the time. And so the 70 to 80 hours a week, that's no joke. Flying around, going to China, going to Brazil, speaking at KetoCon. What's your next one coming up in London?
Health Optimization Summit.
Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
It's biohacking and my autoimmune journey. And then right after that, right before that, I'm in Italy. Right after that, I go to Iceland to speak. And then right after that, in Colorado to speak.
That's awesome. But it's taxing on your body. So, I mean, the amount of time, effort, and even the money that you're putting into your own self-maintenance and healthcare, it's
tough.
Yeah. It's real
and
tough.
That's why I need this work done. It's the only way, I wouldn't be able to do it, period, the end, without the people that are there to support me.
So, in closing for me, I want to plug Sean here. I want to say that it's at zonehalo.com.
At zonehalo on Instagram and Twitter, and then just SeanWells.com, ShawnWnwells.
If you're not following him, you're making a big mistake, because you can learn so much from everything that he's had on his personal journey and all the things that he's developing. He's a formulator, meaning that he's designed many types of things that you might take, like a protein powder or...
over 500 supplements.
There you go.
And I've patented over 10 ingredients.
Which is absolutely amazing. So...
I'm a registered dietitian, certified sports nutritionist, biochemist.
And then I go back to the time that you spent in school and how you did that. That's amazing, because not many people could pursue 2 things at once like that.
Thanks.
So, in closing, is there anything else you would like to say, or any kind of advice or wisdom that you have for these guys here?
Not only does it make a difference to work with someone that has passion that leads to their knowledge and their ability, but when they have passion, they tend to have empathy, and that's going to make a difference in the work that they do. when they actually care about you and they care about their reputation and they have a personal stake in it and they have a personal stake in your success, that's going to make all the difference. And Chris definitely has that.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, brother.
And anytime you need anything, I love you too, man. Anytime you need anything,